Hi, my name is Ifyak Bafri. I'm from RCCG Maranatha Chapel in Sligo, Ireland. I want to share a testimony about my life. When I was young, when I was very young, about 4 or 5 years old, in Lagos, Nigeria, where I'm from. Lagos is a very crowded city. Right now, it's about 20 million in population. Back then, when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my mom and my siblings, we went out to a baby dedication ceremony in the night. It was evening, it was dark. And where we went to, I had no idea where we were. I don't know how we got there, but we drove down. I remember clearly we drove down in my mom's car. And it was an outdoor event actually. Um, Somehow, I don't know what happened to me. I started to wander off and I kept on going. I don't know why, but I left the venue and I was walking around, and little did I know I got lost. I couldn't find my way back. I had entered street after street. I couldn't find my way back, and I kept turning around, hoping that I would see at least a crowd of people and recognize that that's where the party was. So no avail actually. I couldn't find the place. I kept on walking and I started to cry. I started to cry, and back then Lagos really was not a safe place, especially at night, because you could easily get kidnapped or killed. Thankfully, there was a lady from the roadside that came to ask me questions. Where's my mom? Which I didn't know. Asked me where I was, where my house is. I had no idea of any answer to those questions. So all she did was to stay with me. I was crying for my mother, but somehow we kept on walking and walking. And where we were wasn't close to our house because we had to drive all the way down. Thankfully, I like to think that God sent the lady to walk with me, even though she had no idea where I was. But somehow she, her being there, probably weeded off any other person that would have tried to snatch me or kidnap me. So we kept on walking. She didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where I was going, but we just kept on walking and walking. And as God will have it, I walked to the front of my house. My house at a location that I had no idea was. I had no idea how to get there. I had no idea. 4 year old me, I had no idea how to navigate the streets. Back then, there weren't any mobile means of communication. So there was no way to really contact my mother. So I stayed with my neighbor. And later that night, much later in the night, because my mom had spent hours and hours looking for me, she came back distraught. She was devastated. I remember when I saw her, she was crying and everything. She got home only for our neighbors to alert her that I was with them. She had got home that night, probably waiting to file a missing persons report the next day at the police station, because I'm sure she had tried her best. She looked around and her eyes were red with tears. But God saved my life that night, because anything could have happened. I could have been kidnapped or killed, or probably ended up in some foster home, and definitely I wouldn't have been here today. Whenever anyone wants to ask me why I believe in God, it's very simple. There is no way science can explain what happened to me that evening. A boy who had no idea, who had no clue of roads and navigations and the way to his house, somehow was lost, but he found his way back home. Something I'll forever be grateful to God for the rest of my life.